Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan here, joined alongside camera operator Rowan Laddick for the final of three matchups on the south side, all from the freshman level. And recap the action thus far. We started off with a game featuring West Islip and Longwood. Longwood victorious in that one. The final score, Longwood winning 6-1. They earn their 11th win of the season. Middle matchup between Middle Country and Smithtown. Freshman blue and Middle Country earn the win in that one, which does not help Sachem. Middle Country 9-9 on the year. Have the tiebreaker over Connecticut-Sayville, so they leapfrog all the way to 7th place with that win 6-2 over Smithtown. Freshman blue. ESM and freshman red just finished up over on the North Rink, and Smithtown Hauppauge victorious in that one over the Sharks. Final score 5-1. And so we look at the updated standings with all that information. And it leads pretty much where we are. Middle Country in 7th, Connecticut-Sayville in 8th. Connecticut-Sayville have a game against 6th place Southampton getting underway shortly on the North Rink. Sachem will be rooting for the Whalers as they look to sneak their way into the playoffs. They are 4 points behind Connecticut-Sayville. So Sachem basically a must-win situation because of the nature of their 2 overtime loss points. They cannot get a tiebreaker ahead of Connecticut-Sayville if they do not win tonight, albeit it'll be tough to catch them if they lose tonight either way. But a tall task is in order for Sachem as they face off against the 3rd place St. Anthony's Friars. 12 wins, 2 losses, 3 ties this year for St. A's. Proving to be once again one of the top teams in one of the various leagues we cover in the SCHSHL. They met earlier this year. St. Anthony's were victorious. Final score in that game, 5-2 in favor of the Friars. But it's a must-win here for Sachem. So everything will be on the line for the red, black, and gold. Up against one of their rivals in St. Anthony's. We are set to begin here live from the rinks in Hauppauge. Ryan Brannigan, Rowan Laddick on the cam. Sachem and St. A's. Puck set to be dropped. Solis will take the face-off from Gandolfo. Sticks are tapping. A lot of energy ahead of this face-off, and we're underway. In the feet of Todd Roush. Eventually kicked out to Gandolfo. Try to play it ahead, and eventually does. Ushered quickly ahead by Trevor Galloway before it's collected by Donahue. All the way across to his partner and Carly. Carly to Gandolfo. Pressured by Roush. Gandolfo. Proud of me, that's Rosado looking to go across. And now Carly will fling it down ice. Morbillo out to stop it. That negates an icing. Morbillo shifting it over to number 52 in white and black, Jackson Zethner, former Northport Huntington Tiger. From along the ice, Gandolfo, and again quickly out to play it, Morbillo, the former ESM Shark. Thrust around, out of the reach of Satara, held in by Gandolfo at the near point, as Sachem looked to get the offense going. Overskated by Galloway. Here's a 2-on-1. A Pedisano to Gandolfo to the backhand. Just missed. A Pedisano scores! Sachem break the ice and take the 1-0 lead. Nick Apettisano will give and go with Chase Gandolfo. Sneaks it underneath Brody Morbillo. And the two co-leading scorers for Sachem give them a 1-0 lead. Each with 21 points, now with 22. Tizano back to the point for McCauley. The wrist shot through traffic, knocked down in front. Rebound, backhanded just wide by Nooner. As St. A's look for a quick response. Nooner to Tizano, spins one wide of Bello. McCauley stepping up from his point position, knocked to the ice by Giuliano. And then a big hit dished out on O'Connor. And now on Minikazi as the physicality ramps up. Jake Evans flips one to McCauley. McCauley looking to go ahead of Reggie Henry. It's sent out of the zone by Sachem. Again, these two sides played against one another at the JV level in the quarterfinal, where Sachem, the 8 seed, upset the top-seeded St. Anthony JV Blackfriars. It was their gold team that would advance to the finals and force a Game 3 against Smithtown Hauppauge Red. And that is where Red won. Now a shot from McCauley goes wide. Capozzoli, stick lifted to the front, backdoor score! St. Anthony's get the equalizer and tie the game at 1. And that goal is gonna belong to number 48, Frankie Monino. His 15th, a team high. But ties him for the team lead with Reggie Henry. And we're tied at 1. Sachem looking to go right back in the offensive zone. Rosado battling Zethner. Puck still up for grabs behind Morbillo. It's carried ahead by Ivizaj. Eventually found its way to Menino. Now Hoffman trying to help it along. It's back with a Apettisano as Sachem looked to break out. Apettisano hard on the back end, moves middle, but eventually lost control, gets it right back. Apettisano swung it down low to Gandolfo. Tries to drop it around behind for Rosado. Rosado shoves Zethner to the boards. Apettisano trying to help it along near side. Shot comes from Carly off the side of the net. Picked up by Gandolfo. Gandolfo looking for a deflection in front. None came. And now Jackson Zethner will look to move it. Hands off behind to Galloway. Galloway able to get it out of the zone. Picked up by Carly, who has to track back to it. For checking on the play, Lucas Hoffman. Justin Bovich had it tangled. And now Sachem gets skated out. Bovich, 2-on-2. He's got Minikazi to his right. They crisscross. Bovich down low, shot off the pad. Rebound was out in front and covered up by Morbillo. But what a chance here created by Justin Bovich as they run the Quigley special, the scissor play, as he loves to call it. And then right off the left skate and a great play. I believe that's 89 Logan McCauley potentially saving a goal with that backhand after redirected off the outside of the skate of Minikazi. Meyer keeps it going around to Minikazi. Good step up here from Evans, but he's poked off the puck. Bovich trying to roll in. Lost control. Now McCauley. Stick handles in open space. Hits the red line, backhands in. Nearly 5 minutes gone by, first period. Sachem and St. A's tied up at 1 apiece. Roush will redirect that puck right into the Sachem bench for a stoppage with 10:04 to go in period number 1. Off the face-off win, neutral ice. Friars put it right back in the Sachem end. Meyer sends it out of the zone. And with the fresh ice, thought it would be an icing, it will not. Evans will play it. He'll come out from his own end. Evades Prim. Evans down the right wing side. Takes the shot wide of Bello. Held in at the far point by McCauley. To Tizzano. Now Neuner. Neuner. Evans calling for it. Pass behind him. Tries to play it down the boards. It goes between the feet of Evans. That will negate an icing. Morbillo, active with the puck, will send it ahead to Neuner, and now back for McCauley. Stops and starts and now breaks in. McCauley rips one wide. Gandolfo taps it back with enough touch to avoid an icing, and it would potentially going on goal to Morbillo. Evans will take over. This pass Banks off the near boards, and now Sachem trying to go back in. Apetesano speared it away from Evans. Morbillo once again out to play. Will backhand it to the near side. Apetesano and Evans collide. Evans absorbs the hit and skates away with the puck. Neuner flips it down ice, wide of Bello, and that will be an icing against St. Anthony's. 8:30 to go here in period number 1. Face-off coming to the right, left rather, of Morbillo. Rosado helped out by some teammates. Now Evans will hand it over to McCauley. McCauley finds Roush up ice. And now Solis spinning away in the far corner. Charles Solis, a shot. Sure it ever made it through to Bello. Now Sachem could break out. Rimmed down low by Tullivert. Mazal trying to help out. Prim with a stick on it. Meyer keeps in at the far point. Now here's Evans. Evans to McCauley. Evades Mazal. And now looks for the best way up ice. Decides to rim it around. Fanned on by Roush. And now Sachem could keep in. Good forecheck here from the red, black, and gold. Giuliano on the backhand. Lost it. That allows Solis to break out. Solis, also a former Tiger of Northport Huntington, that shot fanned on. Prim and Giuliano coming together. And now Mazal can break out for Sachem. Dylan Mazal hits the red line and fires in. Morbillo once again will come out to play it. Over to McCauley. This pass ahead of Evans. Banked and collected by Rosado. 1-1 game. 5:40 now remaining in the first period. Giveaway. Henry. Unable to get by the last player on defense there for Sachem. And Magnani has a long shot. Glove save made by Bello. And he'll hang on to it. 5:26 to go, first period. Sachem 1, St. Anthony's 1 here on LI Sports Network. Here's a chance for Apetesano. Zettler trying to cut the ice and have Apetesano denied by Morbillo. Rosado fires a shot wide, potentially at Apetesano back door. Held in by Magnani. Gandolfo to Apetesano. Apetesano far circles, spinning, returns it to Gandolfo. Those two linked up for the first Sachem goal, but that pass to Apetesano broken up. And the Friars can break out. Tizzano goes wide on Capozzoli, takes the shot, save, rebound, score! Neuner taps it into the yawning cage on the rebound, off the rush from Tizzano. And just maybe catching the defender. Capozzoli a little flat-footed, got around him. And then just missed the right skate of Carly who could have kicked it out of harm's way. Instead, it's buried by Nick Neuner. And he gives the Friars their first lead of the night. Zano, his 12th assist of the year. Neuner's 11th goal. Zano now with 22 points. Among is technically, is the leader. McCauley not on the score sheet tonight. He now leads the Friars in points with 22. Neuner tied for second with McCauley with 21. And Menino, who scored earlier tonight, with 20 points. So that shot goes wide from Galloway. Intercepted by Ivazaj. Ivazaj's shot kicked out by Bello. It's back with Landon Ivazaj. Looks to try to get it out in front. Away comes Minikazi with Bovic. Minikazi, before he could get hit, took a shot on goal, stopped by Morbillo. Carly, now Bovic, down the left wing side. Eventually corralled by Zethner, who will bank it out to center. Donahue collects for Sachem in his own end. Spins one ahead for Bovic, and he'll bank it out to neutral ice. McCauley fakes the drop to Evans. Now he'll start up ice. Logan McCauley gets around Giuliano. Backhands one, hoping for Menino backdoor, went by him. And now back across, score! Another gorgeous feed and no chance for Bello. Friars make it 3-1. Starts with that drop pass for Menino. And a great look there as McCauley finding the wide open goal scorer for St. Anthony's, Solis. And Solis makes it 3 unanswered for St. Anthony's. Evans now knifes his way in. Good poke check from Meyer. To the point. Roush just has to knock it away from the incoming Pedisano. Rosado looking to go north with it. Solis stepped in. Back once more with Meyer. Rims around. McCauley there to stop it at the far point. O'Connor on the intercept. Looking to go north. But a good play by McCauley to cut his route off. Good stick from O'Connor, the Sachem captain, but still McCauley prevails with the puck. Now a Pedisano back checking. Still it is McCauley. McCauley backhand, forehand over the net. Evans keeps near point. Arista looking for a deflection. Got one save made anyway by Bello. Keeps Sachem only down a pair. This is an excellent reflex save. Off a great smart play there by Evans. There's a deflection in front from Cetera. And again, a phenomenal save with the glove by Bello. St. Anthony slowly started to take over the game. Neuner. Henry a drive! Save made Bello! And you don't see too many perfectly executed one-timers such as this one. Right in Henry's wheelhouse. And he smokes the thing. Bello there to make the save. And off the face-off, more pressure from St. Anthony's. Neuner takes a trip around the zone. Now cuts middle. Plays it off to Tizano. He scores! Posted in for Nick Tizano. 4 unanswered for St. Anthony's. Beautiful setup here from Neuner. This line proving to be too much for Sachem to handle at this point. As we saw Tizzano feed Nooner, now we see Nooner feeding Tizzano. Here comes Nick Tizzano with Nooner and Henry. Henry calling for it. Pass was in the feet of Galloway. Zethner forced back by Bovic. Galloway collects. Banks one ahead of Nooner. Nick Nooner with Bovic, aggressive on the back check. Nooner survives. Bovic tries to knock down Nooner and eventually does separate him from the puck. Helped out now by Tulliver, and they continue to joust at one another. And now finally a whistle stops play. I imagine one or both players will now sit for 2 minutes and let their dislike for one another fester. Bovic looks like he's still trying to talk to Nooner. Nooner still talking to Bovic. There they go back and forth. There's the point from Nooner to the scoreboard, which shows St. Anthony's ahead by 3. Defensive zone draw win by Gandolfo. Coincidental minor penalty, so we stay 5 aside. Under a minute remaining in the first. McCauley settles, shoots, blocker save made by Bello. Tulliver tries to lift one through neutral ice. Prim knocked down by McCauley, and that will be a penalty against Logan McCauley. Sachem will go to the power play. You see what McCauley's trying to do there is knock down Prim, who is in the region of the pass, but caught Prim up high. We'll see what the penalty is. Both Friars in the box are engaged with discussions with the official. It's usually not a winning formula talking to the official. But I can't talk yet. I did it. Of course, you want an explanation at the bare minimum. Sachem going into their first power play of the night. Gandolfo looking to win the face-off back. He does not, but Carly kept it in at the near point. Goes across to Donahue. Goes through Gandolfo. Zethner a chance to clear high off the glass. Takes a ride into the Friar bench. 31 seconds remain. And we're 12 seconds into the Sachem power play. Sachem's power play this season, 16% against a Friar penalty kill, 77.4% this year. Face-off dug out by O'Connor for Carly. Carly looking for a tip, got one, save, rebound, glove save, Morbillo. With some attitude as well. Great setup here by Sachem off the face-off win. Carly, exactly what he wanted to do there. Shot along the ice for the deflection, and then the follow-up from O'Connor. Sure, in hindsight, pass it to a Pedisano, but, I mean, that's a great look from the slot off a rebound. Better save made by Morbillo. Off the face-off win, the Friars clear. Only 10 seconds remain here in the first period, where Sachem opened the scoring and has surrendered 4 straight. And that'll do it here for period number 1. 4-1 in favor of St. Anthony's after 15 minutes. 30 minutes are left in the game. And we'll get to see all of them in just a moment here on LI Sports Network. Welcome back here to the Rinks and Hop Hog. Second period set to begin shortly. Sachem will have 1 minute and 16 seconds left of power play time. That carries over here into the second. Logan McCauley penalty at the tail end of the first. Carrying over. Sachem quick to establish the zone. Good passing. Here's Donahue. Near point. Down low. Gandolfo. Back to Donahue. And back for Gandolfo. Gandol will put around for O'Connor. Keeps it moving to Giuliano. Good play by Tizzano. Got it away. Now Tizzano breaks in with speed. Getting back on defense, though, the assistant captain for the red, black, and gold in Donahue. But Sachem's power play just has about 30 seconds left on it. Nick Pettisano. He linked up with Gandolfo for the opening goal of the game, but a giveaway. And now Henry is in. Henry to the backhand. Denied by Bello. Sachem now the other way. What a save. Pettisano streaks in off the right side. Pettisano, good stick check by Evans. Gandolfo helping out a Pettisano, who rolls around the outside of the net. Try to backhand around. It's intercepted by Evans. We're back to even strength. Sachem 0 for 1 on the power play. Friars 1 for 1 on the kill. Jake Evans spins one behind Henry. Far circle a drive. Save made Bello, and he'll hang on to it. But score would be more than 4-1 in favor of St. Anthony's if it hadn't been for some of these saves made by Bello. It was a great read in the neutral zone by Henry. Henry, great move to the back end, gets lift. Oh, what a save. What a save. McCauley along the ice, stopped by Bello. Friars continue to mount pressure. Roush's pass intercepted, and now Sachem could try to break out with Mazzal. Mazzal, Rosado, and Prim the line. Falling down to the ice, Roush. It's handed back to Capozzoli. Mazzal trying to chip it ahead. Back to Capozzoli. He finds Rosado. Rosado knocked off the puck by Solis. Rosado tracks back to take it away here for Sachem. Prim goes through the space between the stick and skate of Rosado, and now Evans. Briefly handed off to McCauley, got it back. Here's Jake Evans up the ice with speed. He'll dive for it. Magnani trying to play it across. Put right back out in front, and they score! Somehow slithered past Bello. Not sure who gets credit with the goal, but Jake Evans will lead the handshake line. See, Roush is going to have it in behind, and he'll try to put it out in front, and it pinballs somewhere in that sea of bodies for the Friars' 5th unanswered goal tonight. Still no credit on the goal scorer. Officially, O'Connor brings it in. J.J. O'Connor banks one to the front. A backhand shot from Bovic. Never made it through. Courtney McIntyre trying to get it away, and it's banked out to neutral ice. Donahue collects. Watched by Menino. Back once again for McIntyre. It's Evans, and they credit McCauley with the assist. I believe that was 80, not 89, so assume that will be John, unless I'm wrong. But that looked to be 80 to me. Evazaj backhands one, and no goal. That one's waved off almost immediately, and I believe a hand pass is the reason. And the Friars not really celebrate much anyway. See Landon Evazaj, the former ESM Shark, will backhand this one on. And knocked down with a high stick before it was buried by Menino. Faceoff comes out to neutral ice. Sachem, who will be scoreboard watching tonight. Again, it's not a must win, but it's a much better off with a win for the red, black, and gold. They were keenly watching Kennequot Sayville and Southampton rooting for the Whalers, and it is the Whalers who lead 2-0 over the T-Birds. Aiden D'Angelo and Cam Minardi providing goals for Southampton. St. Anthony's obviously in third place, not concerned with scoreboard watching of making the playoffs sake. Sachem win the draw. Mazzal try to spin one on goal, save made. Rebound, score! Dylan Mazzal ends the run of 5 straight goals for St. Anne's and makes it 5-2. His 8th goal of the season. You know, see, he's got a great look here that gets blocked. Poised, collects the rebound, and flips one glove side that beats Morbillo. Oh, Dylan Mazzal. See if anyone gets credit with an assist there. Can he provide some momentum for Sachem? Friars are trying to extinguish any sort of momentum. A rip from McCauley. Knocked out of the zone by Bello. Tulliver and Mazzal converge on Evans, who sends one up the far boards, eventually to Nooner. This line so productive for St. Anne's all year and this game. Henry. Backhands one to McCauley. Prim steps over, and that allows Giuliano to break out. Banks one ahead, cut off by Evans. Back with Giuliano. Swatted out of midair by Henry. Giuliano will try to get around Reggie Henry. It's Menino, and Prim steering it away from him. Zano streaks back to collect. Watched by Mazzal. Plays it over to McCauley, rims it around near side. Meyer steps up to keep it alive for Sachem. Big hit in the near corner boards. Scrum ensues, and Zano comes away with the puck. Nick Tizano breaking in on Tulliver. Gets around Kane Tulliver. And McCauley on the far side. Hurried by Minikazi. Giuliano in the area of Minikazi, and now back for Jake Evans. Evans looking to spin away. Great move, Minikazi. He breaks in. Minikazi! Shot denied by Morbillo. Sachem keeping the pressure on. Good shift here from Minikazi. And now a penalty coming up. I believe it'll be on St. Anne's. The Mazzal goal does have assists, by the way. Prim and Tulliver pick up assists on the Mazzal goal. Declan Prim, his 7th apple of the season. And Kane Tulliver, his 4th assist of the year. And now Sachem will go to the power play. Nooner in the box for the Friars. Sachem unsuccessful on their prior power play attempt. Work down the boards. And another whistle here. And there's a player down on the ice along the near boards, I believe. And while they check on the player, we'll step aside, see if any more penalties come of it. 9:35 to go, second period. Sachem have responded. They make it a 3-goal game against St. Anne's, live here on LA Sports Network. Welcome back here to the rinks in Hauppauge. Donahue was the player along the ice. He'll make his way over to the Sachem bench. Pedisano still conversing with the Sachem bench as well ahead of this face-off. Face-off comes out of the zone. No penalty as a result of that play. Much to the chagrin of the Sachem faithful to my right. J.J. O'Connor to take the face-off, wins it to Bovic. And backhanded into the zone by Chase Gandolfo. Sethner sends one ahead. Giuliano briefly stopped it. Now flipped out of the zone by Todd Roush, former KPC Knight. Giuliano pressured by Roush. Now Gandolfo brings it in off the left wing side, drops to Bovic. Back to Gandolfo. Gandolfo, good pass to Pedisano, rips the shot, and it's stopped by Morbillo. Good passing there from Sachem. But ultimately a shot from that distance. Likely not going to beat the Friar goaltender, Brody Morbillo. Morbillo joining his teammate Landon Ivizaj, coming over from playing on the freshman team with ESM. ESM who fell to second place Smithtown Hauppauge earlier tonight. Shot from Gandolfo, fought off by Morbillo. And Pedisano will take it out of the zone. Fends off the forecheck of Cetera for finding Gandolfo. Gandolfo into the offensive zone. Looking to pass, and will all the way across Giuliano. Flings a shot on, stopped by Morbillo. Rebound wide. Luca Giuliano with those couple of chances. Now Gandolfo across. O'Connor. Shot denied by Morbillo. Punch to the boards and out of the zone by way of Cetera. Pedisano finds O'Connor with 28 seconds to go on the Sachem power play. Evans fell down. O'Connor couldn't quite take advantage. Friars look to break out. It's stopped by Giuliano. And now a penalty coming, and it's going to be against Sachem. J.J. O'Connor fired up on his way into the penalty box. The Sachem captain not pleased with what just transpired. And will skate force side for only about 19 seconds before an abbreviated power play will belong to St. Anne's, bearing any other penalties. Henry trying to roll to the front of the net off the face-off. Now Tizzano. Henry looking to feed it out in front. Diving play by Meyer to get a stick on it. Shot still comes on, and Bello makes the save. And despite allowing 5, Ryan Bello has been excellent between the pipes for Sachem this season. Bello, a .525 goals against average, 1-4 record, but don't let that fool you. Also an overtime loss there for Bello. To the point, Evans. Power play has begun for St. Anne's. The puck comes out of the zone. About a minute and 18 seconds left here on the St. Anne's power play. McCauley rolls in, forced wide. He'll take it around the Sachem goal. On his backhand, Logan McCauley. Dishes to Evans. Evans couldn't quite corral it on the backhand. Puck comes out of the zone. Neuner survives a check from Mazal, plays it back to Tizzano. Tizzano able to break through a couple of Sachem players, moves in. Forced wide by Meyer. Carries around the net. Tizzano to the point for Evans. Good job by Sachem keeping him to the outside of this point. 34 seconds left on the Friar power play. Neuner. Check by Mazal. Now McCauley breaks through. Backdoor play. He had Tizzano, just missed. Giuliano, now Rosado. Held in by Evans, who took the shot. It was blocked, and then getting a stick on it was Bello. Giuliano, a flipper out of the zone past the stick of Evans. And with 5 seconds left, Sachem will kill off the remaining couple seconds here of this Friar power play. We're back to 5-on-5 with 6 minutes to go in the second. McCauley carries around the net. Again, Sachem can tie Quad-Sable in points with a win tonight and a Tiber loss. But Sachem down 3. Chance here, sharp angle shot, save, rebound, score! Gandolfo finds his own rebound in front and cuts the deficit to 2. So Sachem kill off the penalty. See, they take the pass away. Pettisano still set up right there. Gandolfo is trying to get it to him, but he scores. And makes it 5-3. Chase Gandolfo's second point of the night. Meanwhile, Friars looking for a quick response. Save made Bello. Zethner tumbles to the ice for a moment. Capozzoli sends around for Nick Pettisano. Puts one up ice for Bovic. Speared back to Galloway. Gandolfo and Bovic on the forecheck. Trevor Galloway forced into a turnover. Pettisano trying to reclaim the puck on the far side. Instead, here come the Friars with numbers. 3-on-1. Offsides, though, called against St. A's. Breaks up the odd man rush for the Friars. But it's Chase Gandolfo's 12th of the year. That puts Sachem down a pair here late in the second period. Under 5 minutes to go. This will come on goal to Morbillo. Ushers it to the far corner for Galloway, pressured by Tulliver, forced the turnover. Tulliver out in front of deflection by McIntyre, stopped by Morbillo. Mazzal crunched to the boards by Galloway, but able to feed it to Tulliver. Tulliver couldn't quite get it to McIntyre, back door. And now here comes Menino. He gets around Carley, but then left the puck behind him. It's kind of important. Now here comes Mazzal. Mazzal throws one into the slot. Nobody home for Sachem. And Menino able to send it back into the red, black, and gold end of the ice. Mazzal breaks free, cuts in. Galloway is back, and Galloway lays a shoulder into Mazzal. Ivizaj crunched to the boards by McIntyre. And now Ivizaj shoves down Courtney McIntyre as Mazzal looks to torpedo into a Friar, and only got was the boards. Giuliano hands it back to Carley. Carley flings it into the zone. That's an icing on Sachem. Brett Carley at the end of a shift will get the change, but the faceoff comes back down into the Sachem end to the right of Bello. Solis will take the face-off from Gandolfo, won by Gandolfo, but great play by Cetera to take possession back. Solis rips the shot, stopped by Bello. Fires it back to the point where it's held in by McCauley. Flings one down and around, pops up at the other side. Eventually ahead here for Pettisano. He's got Gandolfo trying to get Bovic. Good stick, though, from McCauley, and Bovic called for offside. Again, we'll keep an eye on that other game in progress. Quad-Sable and Southampton. Southampton have extended their 2-0 lead to 4-0 over Quad-Sable. Evans backhands around. Return to Jake Evans. Hits Cetera. Capozzoli's pinched in at the point. And now here comes a Pettisano. He'll rumble into the offensive zone. Gandolfo. Try to go back to him. Now Meyer for Gandolfo. Delayed penalty is against St. Anthony's. They have not controlled the puck just yet. Now they do. But with 2:40 to go in the second period, Sachem are going to get another look on the power play as Bello returns to his net after making the long trip to the bench for the extra attacker. Todd Roush, a penalty killer for St. Anthony's, will be in the box. And off the face-off. Won by St. Anne's. They'll fire it out. There's Evans waiting for it. Jake Evans breaks in shorthanded. Apetesano looking to get a stick in. Took a penalty. Nooner shoots. Stopped. And now Sachem settle it. Will this be a penalty shot? McCauley signaling for it. Feels like it should be. But no penalty shot here. Pedisano making up enough ground to not warrant the clear and distinct breakaway. Despite the Friars looking like they want it, despite a Pedisano reluctant to go into the penalty box. And so the Sachem power play ends 15 seconds after it starts. Nooner, Tizzano, McCauley, and Evans, the four for the Friars. J.J. O'Connor, the Sachem captain who wins the defensive faceoff. Gandolfo, Giuliano, and Carly way out to play it there is Brody Morbillo. Not sure if he takes a page out of Timothy Sandbickler's book or pops up between the circles for St. Anne's power plays, try to keep the puck alive, but that's the only other Suffolk County High School Hockey League goaltender as this active play in the puck that I can recall. Friars varsity goaltender and Long Island champion for that matter. As Evans drags through, what a pass, Nooner is in. Nooner, stopped by Bello, what a save. Of a great setup. Giuliano backhands across. Valsic, the name I was looking for in terms of playing the puck, big hit. Here comes McCauley, 2-on-2. Gets around Carly, McCauley, Steve, where'd it go? Dangled the red goal line, but wouldn't cross it. Thought about it, and no. Tizzano spins one into the far corner. Full pressure here for the Friars. McCauley, Finn on the first shot, second stop, rebound, loose in the crease area, eventually comes free to Nooner. Nooner to Tizzano, end of a shift here for these four Friars as they're slowing up. Same for the four on the ice for Sachem. Gandolfo still got some juice. He'll bring it up. Chase Gandolfo cuts middle. A wrist shot is stopped by Morbillo, and he keeps things moving. 40 seconds to go in the period, and the power play for St. A's starts now. Get the time up there. There's 6 seconds left in it. Not much time left. 2 seconds and one. We're back to 5-on-5. Galloway. Time, space, shoots, stopped by Bello, rebound. Magnani will play it to the near side. Chipped ahead by Bovic. Here's a Pedisano trying to get around Zethner. Gandolfo diving out, got it on goal, but not gonna beat Morbillo. But a lot of hustle from Sachem's two leading scorers, and Pedisano and Gandolfo. And they generate the offensive zone faceoff with 7.9 left in the second period. My apologies, I had not given Sachem their third goal yet. There it is. 5-3 the score. All of you at home going, "Where? Put it up, put it up, put it up." There we go. Put it up. Trust me, I'd be doing the same thing. If I rewatched my call of this game, I'm going to be the same thing. Anyway, face-off one in the defensive end by St. Anthony's. And that should bring them into the second intermission, ahead by 2. But the lead they had coming into the second has been eaten into as Sachem pulled it within 2 by way of Chase Gandolfo and Dylan Mazzal. 5-3 after 2. Sachem not quite with their season on the line, but a win going a long way. And their hopes to make in the playoffs have 15 more minutes to make it a reality, while the Friars can cement their position even further atop the standings. We'll find out which way it goes here on LI Sports Network. Welcome back here to the rinks in Hauppauge. Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Freshman action. Third straight freshman game here on the south side. Middle Country winning their matchup, as well as Longwood. St. Anthony's ahead by 2. Here's Ivizaj, blockered away by Bello. Quick chance for the Friars to start this third period. Giuliano comes out with a Pedisano onside, but forced out. All their momentum had been lost. Pinballs around, and eventually Zethner played it to the invisible man back there. Eventually picked up now by Galloway, who had briefly left his spot where Zethner was going with it. Good forechecking play here by Gandolfo, or rather Rosado in the near corner. Giuliano pinches in from the near point, but Ivizaj sends it out. Menino dumps in. Henry collects it in behind the Sachem goal. Henry around behind on the backhand, stopped by Bello, and he'll seal off the rebound. Little over a minute gone by here in this third period. Again, what's on the line for Sachem is their 7-9-2 record. Have them 2 points behind Connecticut-Sayville, who are 9-9. And because of the regulation wins, Connecticut-Sayville own that tiebreaker. So they have to, Sachem that is, get at least a point tonight. Evans in, shot it over the net. And they obviously need Connecticut-Sayville to not get any more points. They currently are losing 5-0 to Southampton. Zano marches in, passes off, stopped by Bello, as McCauley was set up for the one-timer from a tough angle. McCauley trying to charge in front of the net. Here's J.J. O'Connor. O'Connor to the line. Bovich trying to bring it free. Now McIntyre sets it in, and behind the play is Hoffman, whose skate blade has been knocked out of his skate. And they're going to blow the play dead as the Friars touch up, and Hoffman struggles to get to the bench. He's not injured. His skate blade has just been dislodged. And now with a little help from his friends, he'll make his way to the Friar bench. Oh, the Beatles, they coined it. They coined that song. A little help from my friends. And now a little skate surgery in order for Lucas Hoffman. While Sachem get an offensive zone face-off. Prin, Minikazi, Tulliver. Forward group for the red, black, and gold. Tulliver shot it just wide. Capozzoli unable to hold in at the near point. Prin trying to put one back in. And now here comes Roush from a sharp angle, blockered away by Bello. Kane Tulliver. To send Prim ahead, but Prin lost it from behind. A good back-checking play made by Solis. Now McCauley rumbles in. McCauley breaks to the front of the net. Passed it off. Stopped by Bello. What a save again made by the Sachem netminder. As Sachem iced the puck. Gives me time to show you fine folks at home this Ryan Bello save. As McCauley, great move to split the defense. Unselfish. Passes the move. Already waiting for it at the far post, though, was Bello, and he shrugs it off to keep Sachem within 2. Face-off won by St. Anne's. Galloway backhands down to Roush. Try to put one out in front. Good stick from Gandolfo. Sachem able to break out. Pedisano moves in with speed. Try to break through the middle of the ice. Good sticks, though, from the Friars. And Zethner has it beneath the goal line. He'll skate it as far as he can before launching a pass in the direction of Roush, but that will be an icing on St. A's. So face-off back down to the right of Brody Morbillo. There's a shot from Rosado, and pouncing on that puck and not surrendering a rebound was Morbillo. Face-off again to the right of Morbillo. Gandolfo and Henry, won by Henry. Back here for Zethner. Looking to find Galloway. It's Ivizaj sending one on for Reggie Henry. Henry cuts across the zone. Wrist shot, missed the net wide. Ivizaj drops it in the corner and then recollects himself. Down the boards. Got past Henry. Menino puts it right back on the stick of Reggie Henry. Back to the point, Zethner. Across to Galloway. Returned over to Zethner. Zethner walks, shoots. Glove save made. Bello. Another good look there from the Friar defenseman, Jackson Zethner. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points in 11 games played this season for Zethner. No Aiden Kalmar tonight. He leads Friar defenseman in terms of points with 12. Rather, goals with 12, points with 18 for Kalmar. Logan McCauley, who's playing defense tonight, is typically a forward, ripped it off the bar. And now Sachem come out with numbers. 2-on-1, O'Connor with McIntyre. Across for McIntyre, kicked out by Morbillo. And now the other way, St. A's. It's Nooner with speed, Carley getting back. And that shot comes on. It's underneath Bello. He looked behind him, but he kept it out. End-to-end action now. Starting with this McIntyre chance. It's a Great pass coming up here from O'Connor, albeit maybe a smidge ahead of McIntyre, but she reeled it in, got that shot on goal. It was stopped by Morbillo. As we quickly get back to action, that shot stabbed away into the corner by Ryan Bello. J.J. O'Connor able to work it ahead to Bovic. Closed off by Hoffman, who's back out on the ice, so skate surgery successful. And quickly, Evans, backdoor score! Great feed from Jake Evans. And Tizzano just had to angle the stick right, and it was headed to the back of the net. Couple of good passes, and then Evans right through the seam. Tizzano, his second of the game, and that might be the dagger. But still just under 10 minutes remaining. It's enough time for Sachem to start a heroic comeback, but they're gonna have to start soon. Galloway banks one for Satara. Now here comes Solis. Meyer crunches Solis into the near corner boards. Prin comes away with the puck. Sends it over to Tulliver. On across, Satara. A wrist shot save. Rebound. Still loose and available. And it's in. Bello, he did all he could, but eventually put into the back of the net. It might be Solis' second of the game. And you see Charles Solis find that loose puck and put it behind Bello. 7-3 Friars. If that last goal didn't put it out of reach, this one feels like it definitely did, as St. Anne's scored 2 goals in under a minute apart. Satara's credited with that goal, but they celebrated with Solis after, and looked like it was 66 who got it. I'll let you know if they change it. Giuliano toward the front of the net, cut off and skated free by Zethner. Head to Satara. Galloway try to back one out in front. Good stick though from Bello. Juggled by Rosado and flipped out of the zone, and a hand pass whistled against Sachem. So you could do the hand pass in your own zone, but that has to be to your own player who's still in your own zone. Rosado was in the zone, but put it into neutral ice, where now you can't touch it. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. And my name's Ryan Brannigan, joined alongside Rowan Laddick. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe. You can hit like as well. It doesn't hurt. And give us a follow at LI Sports Network on Instagram and other social medias. Evans breaks in, takes the shot through a screen. Bello never saw it, went wide. Meyer took the puck off the stick of McCauley. Backhanded ahead, but cut off by Ivizaj, who rips one wide. Menikazi lost it. Now Prin finds Martinez out of the zone. Lucas Martinez going to work on McCauley. McCauley boxes him out. And off the far half wall, here comes Evans. But ahead of the play was Reggie Henry. Three-point night for Nick Tizzano and Logan McCauley. 3 apples for McCauley, 2 goals and an assist for Tizzano. And Jake Evans with a goal and an assist, as Cetera is going to get credited with that goal. The most recent one for St. Anthony's. And Patrick Cetera scoring that. His 7th of the year as that shot goes just wide of Morbillo. Prin. That got by Meyer. Here comes Neuner. Meyer gets back on defense. Neuner. And now Hoffman, stood up by Bello. Comes back out to Evans, who fired wide. McCauley. And now Meyer backhands it out to neutral ice. Neuner rolling right back in. Nick Neuner to Tizzano. Stood up by Minikazi. Hoffman gathers, shoots, right pad save made Bello. Rebound thrown across and by the stick of the Friar captain, Nick Tizzano. Tizzano looking to split the D. Giuliano comes away with the puck. Hands it over to Rosado. Rosado, Giuliano going to the net. Rips a shot for the top corner, missed the net. Rosado kept it in. Bovic shoved down to the ice by McCauley. Here's Tizzano, but Neuner ahead of the play, once again offsides on St. Anthony's. Coming up, not necessarily this weekend, but in a few weekends from now, the NYPD FDNY Heroes Game, second annual on LI Sports Network, but the 52nd annual NYPD FDNY game. Tune in, watch it here live on LI Sports Network, free of charge. Of course, you could attend the game in person, as I have done many times in my life, growing up as a child. A lot of good memories there. Solis, that one goes on goal. Stabbed out by Bello. Zethner. He'll step around Rosado, take a wrist shot that goes wide. Galloway in the feet of Roush, banked ahead. Bovic angles it out of the zone. Zethner recollects. Carly throws one ahead. Comes out of the zone. Bovic. Cross, it's cut off by Zethner as the Sachem season. And very well end tonight, as I've been made aware. They can win against Northport Huntington because of those overtime loss points. They cannot catch either Middle Country or Connecticut Sayville. That shot deflected, save made. Cetera with the deflection and another good save made by Bello. And now we get some hacking and whacking, some extracurriculars in front of the net. It's quickly extinguished. And now St. Anthony's will get a power play out of it. It's Minikazi in the box. Or, pardon me, it's Capozzoli in the box. Evans dropping it off to McCauley. Logan McCauley dissecting through the defense. Takes a shot off the shoulder of Bello and off the post and out. Gandolfo will send it all the way down. Friars come back in. McCauley wide of the net. Giuliano stumbled down. He'll get back up, play the puck. Gandolfo sends it out of the zone. A skipper that gets by Evans. And Morbillo rifles it rink wide to McCauley. His pass off the back of the skate of Evans. So now Logan McCauley will charge ahead with it. 50 seconds left on the power play. And they score. Henry on a beautiful dish from Logan McCauley. And that's a Friars power play goal. Makes it 8-3. Zathner pulling away from Pettisano. There's Nooner and a cross and a diving save made by Bello. Despite the score, he has been exceptional for Sachem tonight. Tizano rolls in and getting a piece was Bello. I mean, offensively, the Friars, they brought it tonight. There's a penalty coming up against St. A's. As soon as Galloway touches it. And a big Bronx cheer from the Sachem faithful. Tizano heads off to the box. Henry, that last goal is a goal and assist tonight. His 16th of the season. Sachem on the power play. Chance to end this game on a high note, but here's Nooner shorthanded. Nick Nooner scores. 9-3 Friars. The home run pass to Nooner successful. Nooner's second of the game, and he's got a 3-point night. It's 12th of the season. A shorthanded goal. As St. Anthony's have scored 4 straight. Evans sends one through the crease. And now back the other way. Martinez will retrieve. Sachem led at 1-0. Friars came back to tie it at 1 and quickly burst ahead to make it 3-1, 4-1, then 5-1. For Sachem made it 5-3. And then St. Anthony's pulling away yet again with 4 straight to make it 9-3. Prin and Henry on the draw. Zathner trying to get away from Minikazi. Zathner. Shimmy shakes, gets it out of the zone. Carley trying to punch it back in. Jackson Zathner comes away with the puck. Lifts one through neutral ice to Menino. Comes on goal, and Bello will usher it away from pressure. It's Galloway now. Scooped up, some open ice ahead of Minikazi. Battles the stick check of Zathner. And Jackson Zathner Able to get it ahead to Henry, and Reggie Henry sends it all the way down. Tizano is now set to come out of the box and will do so and join the play for the final 40 seconds of the hockey game. Another dominant win for St. Anne's. A long shot. Blocker save made by Bello. Friars fresh off a 10-1 win against West Islip. Their only loss this season that didn't come by way of a forfeit was against undefeated East Islip 5-3. And that came back on March the 9th. But they look poised for a deep playoff run with another dominant win. 9-3 the final over Sachem, ending Sachem's season. And you can look back to a loss on November the 1st, 4-3 to Connecticut-Sayville. That sealed Sachem's fate. That one stands out. And if not that one, another 3-2 loss to the T-Birds on December 20th. Those two losses by a goal each are why the T-Birds are going to make the playoffs, and Sachem are not. While the Friars win their 13th game this year, have 29 points on the season, are comfortably in third place, especially with a loss tonight for ESM. That is where they will be, the number 3 seed. And a matchup basically locked in with number 6, Southampton, after their win tonight, which seems imminent on the North Rink to Connecticut-Sayville, as the freshman playoffs soon upon us, as we start to wrap things up here in totality of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Once again, my name's Ryan Brannigan, joined alongside camera operator for this evening, Rowan Laddick. And I want to thank each and every one of you listening here at home for all your support. Feel it here down at the rink. And I love that you love what I do, because I love what I do here on LI Sports Network. And for now, that'll be all. Until next time, please have a good night.